My name's Tim Whaylen. My title here is the lead pilot. The challenges. Well, the weather is a challenge. You know, you just never know what a standard day is. Some days you come in, do your briefings, and then that's it. You don't do anything all day, you never turn a blade. And then some days are like yesterday where we were kind of flying all day. I mean, like I said, I've been flying helicopters for 37 years. I've been flying EMS now for 27 years. So as you can imagine, there's been so many flights that were either interesting or tragic that sticks with in your mind. Over the years, kind of routine flights fade away because you just don't remember them as well. There's just so many. But there's always, patients that you remember, or, odd situations. I remember years ago flying from Duluth to Minneapolis, and I dropped the patient off and was just heading back to Duluth. They asked if we had enough fuel to go to this little town. We went to this little town and picked up a girl who had been helping her dad process a deer and got her hand stuck in a grinder and looked like she was going to lose her hand and her arm, and that sticks with you. We flew her with this thing attached to her because they were hoping to save her elbow for a prosthesis. She was a young girl, 13, 14, difficult time for any kid, and to have something like this tragic happen to her. If you see young people who are hurt, children getting sick, and then you see the effect of that on their family who maybe shows up at the ER, some of that grieving and such is challenging to see. You always wonder how she ended up. Coincidentally, years later, I was flying in Anoka up in Minnesota, and there was a young paramedic, and we were sitting around talking one day, and I shared that story, and his mouth just dropped open. And he told me that he had been working in the cities, and he had a nurse manager he worked for, and she had a prosthetic arm, and she had grown up in Deer River, Minnesota, and she'd lost her arm in processing a deer with her dad. So it turns out that experience for her, drove her to become part of the medical community. And even with a one arm, he said she was remarkable. The skills she could do with one hand, he said she was just one of the best people he ever worked for.